Today we'll be reading
The Trouble with Dogs, written by Bob Graham. The trouble with dogs, said Dad, is that they take over your life, run the show. What show? Kate asked, then right away forgot her question. Look, she said, when I rub Rosie like this, her foot scratches like this. Interesting, said Dad. Said Mom, and they all gazed in love and admiration at Rosie, brought home from the rescue center 8 months ago. While Rosie was large and soft, as comfortable to lie on as an old sofa, and endlessly patient, Dave was small and wild. He slipped and he slid. He leaped and he skittered. He was take me as you find me, don't care Dave. He's so exuberant, said Dad. What's that? Asked Kate. Excited, said Dad. Joyful, added Mom. And they all gazed at Dave, brought home along with Rosie. Full of the joys of spring, said Mom. Spring turned to summer, and Dave was still, Dave. In the park, he cut a picnic party clean into 2 and ran right down the middle of the flower beds, just to show it could be done. Dave needs a firmer hand, said Mom. Someone to tell him no. They all looked at Dad. No, Dave, he said. No, Dave, Mom called a little louder. No, Dave, said Kate, as he jumped up to lick her on the nose. Summer drew to a close, but there was still no change in Dave. He often tied Kate in knots, left small puddles on the kitchen floor, and tore holes in the tights of her school friends. Then one day, he jumped uninvited onto a guest's lap and ate a cupcake right off her plate. We need help, said Dad. Mom went to the phone book. Look, she said, pop breakers. We tame troublesome beasts. For barkers, biters, breakers and bumpers, post sniffers, leaping leash tanglers, and small dogs who smell nameless spots on the grass and won't move. We can take the pounds from your pup, the bounds from your bunny, or the squawk from your caged bird. Especially for owners so meek and mild that they can say boo to a grasshopper. Telephone 555-216-1625. That's us, said Dad. Let's call them, said Mom. The next day, there stood the brigadier at 9 a.m. sharp. What seems to be the problem? He asked. They all looked at Dave, who had a fresh garden flower hanging from his mouth. That dog needs lessons, said the brigadier. Right now. Lesson 1 is just one word. A bird twittered nervously. One simple little word. No! It knocked the breath out of all of them. Dave dropped the flower, wet and glistening, to the path. Head up, chin in, chest out, back straight, barked the brigadier. Lesson 2. Here! Who? Me? Asked Mom. No, madame, the pup, replied the brigadier. Oh, you mean Dave, said Mom. David, here! Lesson 3. The brigadier went on. The slip chain, threaded just so, and placed carefully around the neck. It will enable you, with a short, sharp jerk, to control your animal. Ready, David? Dave did heel work, leash work, and sit work. He trotted, he stayed, and then he came. But no one had the heart for a short, sharp jerk on that chain. At last, the brigadier said, We're finished for today. I'll be back next week to polish off the rough edges. He clicked the gate shut like a trap as Rosie attended to some tiny creature deep in a crease on the inside of her leg. What rough edges? Asked Kate. Dave has nothing but soft and squishy bits. Dad didn't say a word, nor did Mom. At last, the brigadier said, We're finished for today. I'll be back next week to polish off the rough edges. He clicked the gate shut like a trap as Rosie attended to some tiny creature deep in a crease on the inside of her leg. What rough edges? Asked Kate. Dave has nothing but soft and squishy bits. Dad didn't say a word, nor did Mom. In the days that followed, a change came over Dave. The trouble is, said Dad, he's lost his sparkle. The trouble is, said Mom, he's lost his crackle and fizz. The trouble, said Kate, is the brigadier's lessons. The next week came around, and so did the brigadier. Let's get started, he shouted. Dave shivered, but he didn't run away. Instead, he tiptoed slowly forward. He's saying he's glad to see you, said Mom. To see me? Said the brigadier. And then something extraordinary happened. The man from Pup Breakers smiled. At least, Kate thought he smiled. It was difficult to see under his mustache. I think we should have some tea, said Mom. And I think we should tell him, Kate said quietly. Tell me what? Asked the brigadier. Kate blinked, then said, that Dave doesn't need lessons anymore. And why is that, young Kate? Because, Kate whispered, because I think shouting hurts Dave's feelings and we should always be polite to our dogs. There was silence. Then all at once, Dave slipped past Mom. He slid and he skittered and he leaped right up onto the brigadier's lap and ate the cupcake off his plate. Then another extraordinary thing happened. Perhaps you're right, Kate, the brigadier said. Perhaps we shouldn't shout at our dogs. He patted Dave's head. You're a cute little fella, he whispered. Share the crumbs with Rosie. And then he left. The real trouble with dogs, said Dad the next day, is that their ears are so silky. If you lay Dave's ears across your knees and stroke him like this. Have you ever done that? Kate nodded. Lots, she said. Dave wagged his tail all the time, added Mom. Rosie's stomach rumbled. She fell asleep and snored. By the following spring, Kate has grown a little more. Just move the chairs, Daddy, she says. Brilliant idea, Kate, says Dad. Now the sun warms them both.
Bye, friends. See you next time. Bye.